This is the day you have trained for, the day you have studied for. Utilize your superior skills, your superior intelligence.
Sit down, rodent!
Sarah, baby! Oh, you were one fly.
Don't make me hurt you.
Learn to defeat your ruthless enemy, Steve of Hackensack.
Ryan, you're gonna get roofed.
Shut up, quadruped.
Sega Dreamcast. It's thinking.
Alright, Rachel Schaefer back at you with another Twin Family video, and as you can see, we have a Dreamcast. Now we had to deviate from the plan a little bit because, well, things I don't want to get into right now. But we had to make a little bit of a change to the project, which is fine. Things like that happen. But we're getting done with it, and we're getting it done with it over the next couple of weeks. Now, as you can see, this Dreamcast is not in the best of condition shell-wise. Although, you know, it's sunburnt, it's beat up. The internals will hopefully work, because I got this off eBay, and what we're going to do right now is we're going to just clean the ports, and obviously we're going to do a reshelling into the Resident Evil shell I showed beforehand. I think I showed it, I'm not sure, but we'll show the shell again because we're going to, because of the project. And I got the alcohol wipes. I've got a CD because I don't have... It was supposed to come with a few Dreamcast games, but he forgot to include them, and he shipped them out separately. But we just need to make sure that... I'm just going to make sure the drive works, just to make sure it's working, because we're not going to be using the disk drive. We're going to be using one of these. Now, I've covered the mode before, but this time I'm going to be covering the GDEMU. And another reason for this is because the current version right now is 5.20.5, which is the latest firmware for the GDEMU in general. So now these, even the clones, have full compatibility. They fixed the problems with the Skies of Arcadia and Resident Evil. And of course it comes with a 3D, it's not 3D printed, but it's injection molded shell. So this way, this is already going to come with a disk drive replacement. So we're going to be installing that instead. And we're also going to be installing the fan from Laser Bear, which will be replacing underneath the new shell. So first thing I want to do with this one is I want to just clean at least the first controller port and the ports back here. So this way I don't have to worry about that down the line. And this is where alcohol wipes definitely come in handy, especially for the Dreamcast. And by the way, one thing I do need to point out, just a quick wipe. You know, alcohol pad's good because you can get into all those little nooks and crannies that you normally couldn't. I mean, we should be fine, but still wanna, because you could just manipulate it like a regular rag. I'm gonna clean the modem too, even though we're probably not gonna use it. I don't have any compressed air right now, so that's the only thing that sucks about that. But before we continue, you want to make sure, especially when putting in the GDEMU, that you have a Dreamcast with a 1 on the bottom, which this does. Not sure if you need a... I'm not sure if it'll work with ones with a 0. I do know it will not work with ones with a 2, simply because the ones that have the 2 do not have mil-CD capability, so it cannot be used. But this one should. And just want to at least clean the first controller port, because that's the one we're going to be using. Now, down the line I have to send this in because I want to get the battery swapped, as well as the the reset mod, the reset fuse, which I'm not going to be doing as of while I'm recording this. I'm recording this in August. So, and fuck it, I'll just do the 4 controller ports. So by the time you see this video, that would have already been done. I hope. So, just want to clean the controller ports real quick. Make sure they're on the up and up. I'm not really pulling anything, ironically enough. So maybe the system is just the sun bleached. But yeah, so anywho, I'm gonna turn the TV on and we're gonna try this because mostly I'm gonna be using VGA for this. So I'm not gonna worry too much. Oh wow, it started up already. Huh. When you know it. So at least I know it works. And by the way, just a little tick, 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 tick on the laser. All right, we have our Dreamcast all hooked up, ready to go with my controller. And you can see how bleached the, how sun yellowed this system is. But I got my CD that I got from Diabolic. And by the way, really important, if you're going to be working on a Dreamcast or if you never got the reset mod done, do not plug in or take out any controllers while the system's on. Now is the time to turn your system off or to plug up all your controllers, take out any controllers you're not using, because that's what pops the fuse. That's literally what blows the controller board of these systems. Hot swapping controllers, because this controller gets electricity from the system. So this is a live controller because it needs to power the VMU screen, especially when you don't use batteries. So you want to make sure, doubly sure, that you don't hot swap controllers while the system's on, or else the controller board will not work anymore. That's literally right up there with the disk drive as the common failure point for these Dreamcasts. So word of warning, do not hot swap controllers. All right, so we're going to turn the system on. Was the time set already? No, it wasn't. That's fine. So we're just going to set our clock. And of course it's military time, so we got to do with that too. 21:54. All right, so it detects the CD. Plus,
welcome. We hope you enjoy the show.
Okay. Plus, I'm also hoping that with this, you know, we're testing it with this CD, since it's just drive-in spots that have been uploaded to YouTube like 90,000 times, that it won't get flagged. If I were to play music soundtrack, it would have.
In any of the convenient lobby trash containers. Thanks for helping us keep the theater clean and comfortable for everybody. Let's all go to the lab.
Okay, so we know that's working. So now we at least have a working disk drive. And that's good because, you know, for parts, if you need it, especially how much I work on Dreamcasts. Also, if you want to, you know, swap parts or sell parts, you gotta look at, you know, a custom console like you're looking at a car. If you're gonna take apart a classic car or do restorations or mods to it, if you still have original parts, that's good. You save them and you could sell them or keep them around in case you need them. Same goes with video game consoles. If you're going to mod these with things, if you're going to swap the shells, well, obviously we're going to throw the shell out because it's useless, but the disk drive is still good. So we're going to save the disk drive in case we need it or in case we decide to sell it down the line. So now we're going to take the system apart. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to strip the system down to its core. Because, again, we're going to be swapping the shell, so we need to strip the system completely down. So we're going to use our trusty, dusty screwdriver that's got the friggin' alcohol on it. Now, obviously, you want to take the modem out. We'll be dealing with that a little bit later. And it can be tricky to get this modem out. It really can. Especially if it hasn't been used in God knows how long. So we're going to take out 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you've seen our videos that we've done on when we put the mode in the Dreamcast, this is familiar. Of course, I got my ice cube tray, which is always good to have. Some people use the mats, the magnetic mats with the marker. That's great, but try to use what you already got. I might get that one day, but where the hell would I put it? You know, if you're doing this in your kitchen table like I'm doing it, it's a lot easier to just use an ice cube tray because I already have it here. And one thing that sucks about Dreamcast opening it up is because it's got that shell. It's not done yet. Because it's got this, it's not flat on top. It's a pain in the butt. Because it slides around and stuff. So you gotta like keep it steady. Dreamcasts are easy to fucking work on. Especially since this is simple because all we're doing is a shell swap. Oh, I was about to have a heart attack. I was like, where the hell? I was about to say I was going to have a heart attack. I'm like, what the hell is missing a screw? I'm going to work on this later because I got to take the whole modem apart when we do the reshell. And let's open her up. And we don't really need anything out of here, I don't believe, but we'll just hang on to it just in case we do. And it looks clean in here. It really does, at least so far. So, since we had the power on, we want to really make sure that we don't touch any major components. So I'm trying to do everything one-handed. Because I do not want to touch the coils or anything like that. I'd rather leave it be. And this, you can tell this doesn't have any modifications. Now, if you're doing the healing resistor, it's this one over here. So, but you could tell I didn't touch anything. Be careful with this, because that's the controller board. You don't want to fuck that up. Because these things are really fragile. And it's better to just keep it like that so you know what part it needs to come out. So the power adapter needs to come out first. I'm thinking of putting a Dream PSU in here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet. Because I might. Come on. Considering the fact that this is going to use a lot less electricity, and the fact that all you really need is 5 volts for this system now. Because like I said, I don't really want to try to touch the components unless I have to. Alright, so we gotta grab it by the sides, like we did for the Saturn. And there's a little thing there. Keeps it in place. And just want to lift, because this is because you don't want to touch anything on here. So I'm going to put it on top of the lid for now. Not because we're throwing it away, because we're going to be reusing it, but I don't want to get shocked right now because we just had it on. So we're going to take out this power supply next. And you should really be putting your screws in and filing them by like what you took out. This way you can reverse it later on. So for example, we opened the system up. We took out the power board, which is right here. And now we're taking out the power switch, which is right here. And any components after that in each compartment. So we're going to take this out. Because right now the goal is to strip the board down. And we want to take the knock to a fan out. Well, not the knock to a, you know what I mean. Come on. It's a little tiny screw here. That doesn't want to come out. In a way, it's a good sign. It means no one's been in here before. So we shouldn't have any problems. These I'm going to put to the side. Because I'm not sure if the knock to a fan mod is going to need those screws. And we're not going to be reusing the stock fan. So that can go. And you can tell it hasn't been used because the fan is all nasty and dirty. And I mean, I've definitely seen worse, but still. Good thing that we're replacing it. And the controller ports are next. Because there was a time I used to take these apart, like a ton of them in a day. Because when I had that side hustle at EB Games, when I first moved back here to where I'm at now, back in 2004, that was my side gig. I literally would, when Dreamcasts were like 20 bucks to 20, 30 bucks a piece, I used to buy out the store, and they maybe had like, you know, 10 of them. And then I would return them, I would Frankenstein working units together, and then return the ones that didn't work, and I'd like sell them for like $10 more. Because, you know, when you're in high school, it's hard to get parents to take you anywhere. So kids that wanted, you know, to go to get a Dreamcast or whatever, they couldn't go get them because they had no ride or whatever. So I would take care of that. Then the manager caught on and offered me a gig. They would give me, throw money under the table, give store credit, and basically doing what I did, but legitimately. I'm trying to get this controller board out because the screw is loose. Because you shouldn't have to take anything else out. Let me see if I can see. The screw's loose. The screw just came out. So the controller board's always a little tricky. There we go. That's out. Probably gonna clean it a little better before I put it back in. Now, it's also tricky because this doesn't come out until you take out the main motherboard. And we want to take out 3 screws for the disk drive. So the disk drive is next. Although we're not going to be using that. Still good to have them. Especially game stores love these because if you don't decide to keep them, because chances are they have broken Dreamcast units. Remember, this comes up as one piece. There we go. Especially, you know, I'm sure they have usually broken Dreamcast they can't do nothing with. Of course, you take out the rest of the screws.
Like I don't know, that's what I'm representing. Never seen a mic hog spit like a menace. Wild canyon fun, I gotta chase a bat, huh? Yeah, rude, she's sexy and smooth. A double cross spot thief, that's out for my Jews, I'm feeling her in mysterious ways. That's why I stay on point like every single day. I gotta protect this place, I do it for my race,
take out the rest of the screws here. It does need to be cleaned a little bit. Come on. Some of these screws are a little bit tricky. Where the thread will be done, but there we go. Where the thread will be done, but there'll still be a hanger on. So look how dingy this nasty ass thing is. Not sure if I'm going to reuse this. Probably not. But this is the main board. And I want to... Yep, there was another screw. I want to take off the main board if I can. Obviously there's padding, which is still good. So overall not a bad board. Just gonna wipe it down a little bit and we should be golden. Alright. See, this is literally the board of the Dreamcast. This little fucking thing. This little thing is the Dreamcast board. Amazing, isn't it? So, yeah. Alright, and also don't forget there's pads there too. It's always good to especially wipe down the chips and stuff. Especially when we're changing the shell around. You want to make sure that everything is on the up and up. Especially the connector for the drive, because we're going to be using that when we put the system back together. And the ports are better clean now that I have it out of the out of the shell. But overall looks like in good shape. It really appears to be in good shape, so I don't have too many concerns, honestly. Just obviously want to use another pad and wipe down the main board there. Not the board, I just did, but the shielding. This is a situation where just some alcohol will do it, especially since it doesn't look too bad. See, it should be all right now. Okay. I just want to make sure that everything's on the up and up. And it is. So we should have no problem getting it in the system. Just gotta line up the holes, that's it. So now that we got this taken down and a little bit wiped up, it's time to go to work. So until next time, Rachel Schaefer signing off.